baby.
Yeah, guess
Wrong
who's back?
Call Sportscast. We're still here. We
Yep.
ain't going nowhere.
Like a bad penny, we always turn up.
That's right. Tuesday, February 4th. David and I are here to do what we do. Talk to you a little bit about sports, some other random bullshit we decided to talk about.
Whatever
and,
pop off with.
enjoy ourselves. That's what we're here to do. So we'll start with what we started the shit for, a little bit of sports action.
All right, let's do it.
Our NFL stuff's running out, but there's a big game this week to talk about later. So
Yeah, maybe you've heard of it.
we'll kick it off with PGA because there's still no racing.
Kerplunk.
Still no racing.
Nope, not till after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl. Special guest next week, going to talk about a little racing news. Yeah. So, PGA.
Jake's into that shit?
Oh, he loves racing. It's
Really?
ridiculous. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know where it came from. I used to be a big racing fan.
Maybe.
Yeah, I used to hang out with his big brother. So.
He better wear his M&M's NASCAR jacket up in this
Oh,
bitch.
guaranteed. Yeah. Austin Bill from Dawsonville.
Yeah.
Yeah. UPS Dale Jarrett jacket, something like that. PGA. Rory McIlroy, big name in golf, won the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am this last weekend. Now, remember all the purses I've been given that I've been saying what they've won has been in the 1.4, 1.5 range.
Yeah.
The big time golfers only play the ones with the big money. So Rory won $3.6 million
Damn.
this weekend playing at Pebble Beach.
That's
So-
twice as what the other guys
yeah,
are
yeah,
winning.
we've been in the 1.4, 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rory knocked down the big 3.6 this past weekend. So,
Must be rough.
yeah, tough life, man. Playing golf, making millions of dollars,
Going to Pebble Beach.
going to Pebble Beach. Now, this weekend, though, Yegi, they go to call it the Super Bowl of golf. It is a snake pit, if you will, if you're an Indy 500
That's the
fan.
Waste Management.
The Waste Management
Yeah,
Open this weekend.
You've been there
I've been
few
a couple times,
yeah.
and it's a party. It's not a golf tournament. And the great thing is the golfers enjoy it. They expect that. You know, instead
It's
of the
not so uppity.
yeah, instead of the quiet shh, we're hitting ball. They're raising their hands. Come on, give it to me. Let's have a good time. So now I will say, last year at the Waste Management, they had to shut the damn place down because people were like crashing in with no tickets and breaking into the VIP tents and getting free booze and shit. It was a complete nut job of a weekend at Waste Management last year.
Well,
So
isn't that what's supposed to happen?
it is, but it's supposed to be what do they call it? Regulated chaos, I guess. So yeah, Waste Management is this weekend, Scottsdale, Arizona. It's always happens to be the same weekend as the Super Bowl. So
Stupid flog and all their
but
uppity rules.
yeah, I've been there a few times, and it is an absolute blast. I've had so much fun. When we were there a couple years ago on the infamous 16th hole, the stadium hole, where they got the stands all the way around it. It's built like a football stadium.
Yeah.
If somebody
I've
hits a
seen
hole in one, everybody's chucking beer cans and bottles. I was on 16 when they hit a hole in one 3 years ago. Had beer poured all over me. I mean, you want to talk about a freaking fun ass day. So, yeah. Waste Management Open, Scottsdale, Arizona this weekend. If you're into golf at all, I would recommend watching a little bit of it on at least over the weekend. So, I'll have it on my computer at work on Thursday and Friday. The TGL, which we've been talking about, Team Golf League, Tiger Golf League, whatever you want to call the name of it.
Tiger. I call it
Yeah.
Tiger. The TV series.
There's a match tonight. The Boston Common, which is Rory McIlroy's team. Rory McIlroy, Keegan Bradley, and Adam Scott are taking on LA Golf, which is Tommy Fleetwood, Colin Morikawa, and Justin Rose. That shit doesn't come on till 9 o'clock. But,
Tonight?
yeah, 9 o'clock tonight on ESPN, 2 hours. I'll watch it tomorrow on my computer.
I thought it came on earlier.
They've moved the schedule around. Like last week, they did it on Monday, so we were able to talk about it because Tiger played Rory last week. So we were able to talk about it after the fact because they played on Monday. So that's a little bit of golf news. But yeah, Waste Management Open, Scottsdale, awesome time. Great tournament, a lot of fun. If you're into golf and you have a chance to go, I would definitely recommend it.
Didn't your wife win a shitload of money
She
at a
did.
casino?
I think
One year
the
that you
first time we went, maybe there's an Indian casino, like a reservation out there, and we went to the casino after we were in Scottsdale all day, hanging out, drinking, and having dinners and stuff. So we go to this casino, and she's playing a slot machine, and hits for like $8,500 on
Yeah,
a slot
that's what it
machine.
was, yeah.
And I wasn't there. She's blowing up my phone like, "Oh my god, I need you here. Where are you at?" I'm like, "We're on our way right now." She said, "I just hit for $9,000." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." And
Go fuck
they had
yourself.
security guards around. When I got there, she was filling out the IRS paperwork, and they're giving her wads and wads of hundreds. I'm like, "Oh my god, we got to leave now. We're gonna get robbed." But yeah, she hit for a massive haul at the casino out there for a weekend. It paid for the weekend and then some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite awesome. So, NHL, Still going. They're about a month from the All-Star break. They still got about a month of the trade deadline. There's a couple moves going around in the NHL.
Yeah.
But in the Eastern Conference, in the Atlantic Division, the Florida Panthers are 32-19.
There you go.
In the Metropolitan Division, the Washington Capitals are 34-11. Western Conference, Central Division, Winnipeg Jets,
I wonder when the
37-14.
Panthers were going to climb up there
Yep.
since they're defending champs.
Yeah, and in the Pacific, Edmonton is 32-16.
Am I right? Was that last year? Edmonton and Panthers were last
Shit,
year.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person about that.
Ah, damn it.
We've been following, obviously, the Ovechkin chase of the great one, right?
Right.
That's what we've been talking about mostly with hockey. So on Thursday, Ovechkin got a goal in an overtime loss to Ottawa. They lost 5-4, but he got one goal on Thursday.
Still got a goal.
Which got him at 876. And then on Saturday, Ovechkin got one goal in an overtime loss, 5-4 to Winnipeg. So they just lost 2 overtime games, 5-4, but Ovechkin scored in each game.
Yep.
But obviously, Washington is still leading the Metropolitan Division in the Eastern Conference. So Ovechkin is now 18 behind the great one. So he'll
Getting
get it.
there.
He'll get it
I'm-
this
I'm
year.
sure he'll get it
Well,
this
and
year.
you know, once he gets to that 1 or 2 away, whatever's on ESPN, be it a basketball game, it's going to be one of them.
It'll
They're going to
be-
cut right
yeah.
to the, you know, if
or,
he's got the
or
puck.
they fucking
Yeah,
just put it in prime time.
yeah, because once it's there, it's going to be a big deal for hockey.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm sure Gretzky will be there too.
oh, I'm sure he will. Yeah, I mean, obviously longevity, a career. You got to be in a long time and play a long time and be good at your craft for a long time to get to that point. So,
You don't get that stuff for sucking.
no, yeah. I mean, you're definitely not coming off the bench. You know what I mean? So you're not pulling a Bronny James. You got an NBA contract just to get out there. That was a dig.
Well,
My
actually,
bad.
in NHL, you do come off the bench because you play with a certain line and
Well,
they
you
rotate
know,
lines.
true
and
that,
all
true
that
that,
stuff.
true that.
So everybody rides the pine.
NBA, Cleveland Cavaliers are 40-9, leading the East. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 39-9, lead the West. Pacers are 28-20. They've moved up to about 5th in the division. They've been on a pretty big streak.
Yeah, apparently Siakam did something big last night and helped him.
They pulled out
Willed
a
them
big,
to a win.
Yeah, they pulled out a big win last night. Now, the trade deadline in NBA is this Thursday, February 6th at 3 o'clock. Now, the news all over the weekend was this
They've
deal.
already had a pretty big
massive,
trade.
massive deal. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is leading the Lakers in points, blocks, rebounds, and they just traded his ass away
Well, yeah,
for Luka. Now, Luka, I think
because LeBron said so.
probably the case, but Luka's only played, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read like 20-some games this season because he's been
I
hurt.
have no idea.
And I don't follow the NBA a lot. I know I've highlights
He's
over
been a
the
big
years.
name.
He's only 25 years old, but he's probably put on 25 pounds too. He's a chunky little feller now.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What about tractor trailer, man?
Oh yeah, look at that. So they're saying
Charles Barkley.
can LeBron and Luka coexist? Luka's a guy who plays with the ball in his hand. He doesn't play off the ball very well. LeBron plays with the ball in his hand, not off the ball very well. So is LeBron at a stage in his career where he can play with a superstar like this? We shall see. We shall see.
LeBron is the superstar, and
But-
he'll make sure he's known as the superstar.
So because of the trades in the NBA are always weird, and there's cap numbers. If you take a trade, you got to do this and this. So most of these trades end up with like 3 or 4 teams involved in one trade.
Usually, yeah.
for a big deal. So
Some sleight of hand, twist of fate bullshit.
Luka goes to the Lakers. Also, forward Maxi Kleber and forward Markieff Morris. The Dallas Mavericks, in return, get Anthony Davis, guard Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. Now, somehow they had to get the Utah Jazz wrapped up in this because, again, that money thing. So the Utah Jazz end up getting guard Jalen Hood-Schifino from the Lakers, who was a Hoosier.
Yeah,
Uh,
that name sounds
yeah,
familiar.
who hasn't really done much. He was there with Trace Jackson Davis when they had that amazing run. So
He was the one that probably declared.
too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had this 1 year. and
But
he
hell,
was
he's
done.
in the NBA.
He
Getting
is.
paid.
I mean, he's not playing much or done much, but he's there. He's getting
Still
paid.
got a contract, guaranteed contract.
So Utah ends up with Hood Schifino and 2 2025 second-round draft picks in this deal, somehow, however it works. So I text a friend of ours, Eric, pays a lot of attention to the NBA, and we asked him about it today. He's like, well, Luka hasn't been what he's been. He's put on some weight, but he's still a hell of a player. So maybe he's the next
Yeah.
the next superstar because LeBron's obviously he's on his downswing now. He's on the opposite side of his career.
Well, we'd like to hope so.
Well, we sure would. But so is Luka the next superstar for LA? We shall see.
Yeah, I don't even know how long he's been in the league.
20-some years, something like that. Hell, I don't know.
Luca?
Oh, no, Luka's only been in 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking about LeBron. He's 20-something.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, Luka's only 25 years old. So,
Okay.
like a 4-time All-Star, All-NBA team.
That blindsided Luca quite a
That's
bit.
what they said.
He just bought a $15 million house like 2 weeks or within the last 10 days.
All right, so listen to me now. And this guy I work with, okay, he comes into my office today because he knows we podcast. He's like, I got a great story for your podcast tonight. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, this Luka and Anthony Davis trade's bullshit. I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, hear me out. I think this is all just fluff and people clickbait telling stories. But Anthony Davis has a deal with one of them guys that do the prank television shows. And it's all based on athletes and other athletes doing pranks it's an athlete prank show. So he says, there's this big story running that this is a prank because that's why Luka and Davis and nobody knew about it. And it was out of the media entirely. Not even Wojnarowski had any idea of any of this going on. So it's like, this is a prank. Like, there's no way they would do that.
Well, it's
And
not
let
a
ESPN
prank.
run with it. Neither one of them have played for their new teams yet.
Well, Anthony Davis already showed up, and
He
is
may
out.
have, but Anthony Davis is the one doing this television show. He's got
Oh.
rights to this prank, this sports
Because all of a
prank
sudden
show.
he's got a fucking sternum injury or some shit.
Because he's never going to play because it's a prank.
Uh,
Bullshit, in my opinion. I'm like, there's no way this is. If it would be the biggest coup in all of sports history of all time.
it'd be kind of fucking stupid if that's.
It would be. It'd
the
be dumb as
truth.
hell. But again, he's
But
going
Luca's getting fucked in this deal because when he finished this year, he was eligible for a
the
supermax deal.
supermax contract. Yep,
and he lost 130 some million
yeah,
off of this trade.
Yeah, because if he's with the team he's got, that's the only person that can offer him that
The
supermax
supermax deal.
contract. Yeah. So is Dallas just unloading the money? Do they know something
Luka
that the
was so
league doesn't?
confused. He called Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's like, I don't fucking know either.
How do you own a team and don't know you're getting rid of your best player?
He sold most of his shares.
That's right.
He's out.
That's
He's
right.
not-
That's right. He's not a majority owner anymore.
Yeah, because he got out of Shark Tank. He's
Yep.
just kind of pulling back and being like, it's time to fucking retire.
Yeah,
he's
I've
probably
made
got-
my millions and
He's
millions.
probably got plenty of other little companies from
Yeah.
the Shark Tank. So
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but still, that's just outrageous.
But I just don't. Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see what comes in the NBA in the next few weeks. Like I said, they've still got a couple days for the trade deadline. So see if any other big names move around.
Yeah.
College basketball, staying on the hardwood. Saturday, 10 of the top 25 teams got beat on Saturday. Talk about attrition. Saturday was a rough day in college basketball, and I was watching college basketball most of the day. Our buddy Dan's two teams, Kansas State. We don't know which one it is. We know he's a Chiefs fan, but
If it starts with Kansas,
yeah.
it's Dan's team.
But Kansas State beat Iowa State, who Iowa State was ranked number 3 last week when we were here. So Kansas State beat Iowa State, and then a couple days later, Kansas beat Iowa State. So Iowa State went from number 3 in the rankings, they tumbled down to like 15th or something, but they just lost 3 in a row.
They're
So-
still going to the dance.
Oh yeah. My team probably not so much. We'll get to that in a second.
You're less than a month away from your brackets, people.
Auburn is still sitting at number 1 at 20-1 overall. Duke, number 2, 19-2, riding the coattails of the super rookie Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Alabama, 3, 19-3. Tennessee is 4th, 18-4, and Houston is 5th at 17-4.
Houston.
So obviously Purdue is ranked number 7, 17-5. Our Hoosiers are 14-8. Last Friday night, IU played Purdue in Mackey Arena.
Watched it.
I was very. I went into the game with just a bad attitude, saying, "Well, my wife said, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to watch this damn IU Purdue game. IU's going to get their ass kicked." She's like, "You need to quit being a fan if you're going to act like that." I'm like, "Well, honey, I know what to expect. I'm not getting my hopes up." I'll be damned. A couple of minutes into the game, my hopes got up. I'm like, "Holy shit! Look, where's this IU team come from?"
Yeah, they were. Well, we said last episode, watch them fuck around and win this
Exactly. Yeah. I think there was like 14
game. It's
lead.
a rivalry game. so-
Exactly. There was like 14 lead changes. IU got up as much as 7. Purdue got up as much as 7 in that back and forth in the lead changes.
It was entertaining.
It was a good game. I mean, obviously, I wished as a Hoosier fan that they would have pulled it out and won. But they mentioned going into that game for IU to have a chance at getting in the tournament. They don't have any of those tier 1 wins yet.
There's talent on that team.
It's just the coaching and the rotation and I don't know. There's something that's a mess.
Or
man.
they just don't play good together. Or they might be selfish assholes.
I text somebody.
There's no fluidity about the team.
Yeah, I text Andy or my cousin Jeremy, one of the two, and said, "Boy, at one point between Purdue and IU, you got 10 guys on the court, and there was like 8 white dudes on the floor." And I ain't being racist or nothing, but I text them like, "Look at all these white dudes on the floor," and they're like, that's Indiana basketball."
Yeah, no shit. Straight out of the cornfield.
That's right. So tonight, Purdue's got Iowa, and then Friday, Purdue's got USC. Neither one ranked teams, should be pretty easy for them. IU coming up has number 21 Wisconsin tonight, and then Saturday got number 24 Michigan.
At Wisconsin?
I don't know. I didn't look at where
That's
the games
always
are.
a hard place to win.
Yeah, but IU can get in. They've got to win a couple of these tier 1 games over the next 6, 7, 8 games they've got left if they have a shot at the tournament.
But do you want that, though?
Yeah, because I know they ain't going to go all the way. I mean, if they do, hell, crazier things have happened. But get them in the tournament because I love the tournament. I mean, it's the opening day, Thursday and Friday are my happiest days in all of sports, all sports.
Are you going to pick them in your bracket?
Probably not.
Right,
I wouldn't I mean, they may win the first round depends on who they play. But I ain't taking them all the way, Yagi. But to get them in there and be watching them on Thursday when I'm in Kansas with Dan and his boys, I'd be pretty excited about it.
You're going to the fucking hoop garage.
Yeah, the hoop garage out of Kins. So, NFL, there's been a little bit of news. The Saints are still coachless. They're the only team waiting on a coach. But the rumor is it's Kellen Moore, the offense coordinator for
I
Philly.
did hear it was going to probably be Kellen
So that's
Moore.
why they're waiting and haven't hired anybody yet.
The Saints are garnered up in another controversy. Did you hear about this?
I did not hear. No, I don't think so.
Apparently, molestation in the archdiocese, the religious bullshit in New Orleans.
Really?
The Saints' upper office is somehow been part of this and covering it all up
No shit.
with child molestation.
That's
and
horrible.
shit in the churches. Yep.
Wow. No, I did not catch that story yet.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I don't know all the details, but apparently this happened in 2019. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're
So
about to
investigation, see what happened in there?
Yeah, it's slowly starting to leak. In 2019, it came out, and the story got squashed pretty fucking quick. And then within this week, the last couple of days, the Saints organization has popped up as being part of
This
a cover-up or something,
conspiracy.
or money or
Huh.
something.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'll have to look
But they
into that.
tried to kill that real quick by saying Kellen Moore.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even know if they just yelled out Kellen
yeah,
Moore.
yeah.
Might be a head coach.
Change everybody's
Yeah.
idea what's going
Look
on.
over here real quick.
Yeah, but obviously they're the only team that hasn't hired a coach, and
Yeah,
obviously he
that's-
can't be
that's a
hired
fact.
because he's still.
But
OC.
they're waiting. There is a coach they want to interview, but he refuses to interview until after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So it's on one of those two teams.
Yep.
I know the name, but I forgot the name.
Okay. So yeah, one coach left. Obviously, big NFL news. Two players have made NFL news the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett has requested a trade out of Cleveland.
A fact.
2 years left on his record-breaking 5-year, $125 million extension he signed in 2020.
Yep.
But he's done. He's been a superstar on that defense.
He gave Cleveland,
Everything he's got.
and so it's time for Cleveland to just make good on this and let him go.
Yeah. Obviously,
Because they are obviously doing nothing but walking through mud.
the Deshaun Watson deal has destroyed that team.
Yeah. You ruined Nick Chubb's prime,
Yep.
and then Nick Chubb got that horrible knee injury.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much done. He's going to have to retire as a Brown,
Probably.
but I don't know his contract status. I'm sure somebody will pick him up as a number 2,
Yeah.
obviously.
Get him an extra carry here or there.
But he's
little
still a
relief time.
badass.
Oh,
He
yeah.
still did good when
Yeah.
he came back.
Amazing. The
That's
team
a horrible
The team
injury.
has had talent. They just.
The front office finds a way to.
I mean, look at what Baker
Fuck it all
Mayfield's
up,
done.
man.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I know.
He took him to the last. Was Baker the last guy to take him to a playoff game?
I
in
believe
Cleveland?
so. I believe
Yeah.
so. Well, no, it's Flacco.
Flacco, you're right.
But only because Deshaun Watson got hurt.
yes, yeah. So that deal has destroyed that
It has.
organization
It
and set
tanked
set them back
It's
many years.
Put Myles Garrett in a situation where he feels
You know, and early in the season, he said, I want to stay here. I'm not talking about getting traded because when all that talk was going on about him moving on and whatnot. But
well, that's at the beginning of the season. You got to say that to
well, yeah,
keep the locker room.
yeah, keep everybody like you have a chance, like there's some consistency there. But yeah, it's
He said he doesn't want to go from Cleveland to Canton. He wants to fucking get a chance for a championship.
In his statement, he said that's not what I didn't. I'm not playing to get into Canton. I want a ring.
Right.
It's never going to happen there. It's just not going to happen.
No, it's not at all.
But
Not at all.
The question is, what's the price? He's 29, 30 years old. How much has he got left? A couple, 2-3 good years in him.
I'd say he's got
As
at
a
least
defensive end of that stature.
If I was, I'd give him a 3 or 5 year contract somewhere.
Yeah.
If nothing else, he's going to be a rotational player like Jared Allen was.
Yeah, get a little break
just
here and there,
go
but still
some-
effective as hell on a passing down or whatever the case may be.
Like Khalil Mack
Well,
or a Von Miller.
That's
you're
why
still very effective.
That's what I asked about his price, because the last time a player of this caliber was traded was Khalil Mack, and he warranted, I think it was I didn't look. I was going to. I got sidetracked. Got busy, but I think Khalil Mack got Chicago got 2 first-round picks for Khalil Mack, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. But the problem is the contract. So mostly in the NFL, the contract is backloaded.
Well, they get all the guaranteed money up front, and then the cap hits are in the end.
Yeah. So all the back end of those
Is
contracts
with the heavy money.
That way, the team can cut you and not pay you all that money.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
but
who-
if you trade for him,
Then the other
the other
team
team has
picks
to
up that
swallow
some
that
money.
up.
Yes.
But they could rework the deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
I
build
think
that into
if
the end of a
Myles
new
Garrett
contract.
got a chance to go to a good enough team, he'd be willing. I'm pretty sure he's at the point now. He's really willing to rework the contract
To go somewhere to a contender.
chance.
Yeah.
He just wants a fucking chance.
Yeah. But obviously, if you're
Even if he goes to San Diego, I mean that's a chance because Khalil Mack
he's
did he confirm whether he's retiring?
I have not heard yet. I know that was talk at the end of the season.
At the end of the season, he was mulling retirement.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's back in or not, but the defensive guys, he could go to fucking the Rams because they need an Aaron Donald replacement
Yes,
pretty bad.
desperately.
Even though that
Jared Verse, the rookie, had a hell
great
of a
year.
season.
Yeah, so anybody could use fucking Myles Garrett for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. So it's just a
So
matter.
it's all a matter of what he feels and all that. So let the man have a say in this.
Yes, yeah,
because he
he's-
gave you everything.
and he was great with the community. He was a good guy in Cleveland.
Yeah,
He was
totally,
well loved.
totally.
And I think I heard somebody on the radio say, even the fans in Cleveland, as much as they love Myles Garrett, are going, "Yeah, get out, buddy. Get out while you still
Yeah.
got a chance."
Yeah. I mean, you should. I mean, they should.
Yeah, he deserves it. He's been a great player. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, it's the off season's still a few weeks away.
Yeah.
So-
we got to wait for the free agency to start.
Yeah.
And then
All the fun stuff starts
I'm
happening.
wondering if Garrett comes in during draft shit.
Oh, for a draft pick trade. Oh,
Yeah.
I'd imagine he's traded before the draft because somebody's getting draft picks for him, be it a first round.
Oh,
this
yeah,
year,
but I'm
first
just
round.
saying, what if he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The-
So-
the draft
so-
night bait.
That'll be a interesting situation happening in the next few months after the Super Bowl. The other thing, news wise, another big time player, the Rams are seeking to trade Cooper Kupp.
They did this last year. You
I don't
remember that?
recall. No, I don't recall
Yeah,
last year,
Cooper
but I wasn't
Kupp-
paying nearly as much attention as I have been
Oh,
this year.
Cooper Kupp was on the trading block last year, but they didn't get what they wanted for him, so they just kept him.
Well,
But honestly, that would be stupid for the Rams to do unless he's getting to the point of the contract that it's going to interfere with
here
the
you
salary
go. I've
cap.
got that right now.
Oh, okay,
I wrote, so,
okay, because him and Puka are still a
Puka's
solid one and
Puka's
two.
still working on a cheap ass rookie contract.
Yeah, but Puka can't get away with the shit that he's doing without Cup being
Without-
there.
you're exactly right.
Because Cup is still a threat.
Yes. So here's how this breaks down. In 2021, Cooper Kupp had a record-breaking season, Triple Crown.
One of the best
Rookie
seasons
season-
of wide
well, yeah.
receivers ever turned.
Yeah.
in.
He Triple Crown, receptions, yards, touchdowns. After that year, he got a 3-year extension worth $80 million. Now, his cap hit next year, he has no guaranteed money left. They front load all that.
Yeah, that's
so
always
the
front-loaded.
guaranteed's already there. So his cap hit for 2025 is $29.8 million.
Okay, they're wanting to
Yeah,
because
that's
Matthew
why they're
Stafford
seeking to
did
trade.
come out and say I am back. So he is
Yes.
the Stafford is the quarterback for
Yeah.
the Rams next
So
year.
that's why $29.8 million
So,
in 2025, and his cap hit in 2026 is $27.3 million.
This is usually when guys get cut.
Yeah, because the cap.
Unless you're a
you can't-
quarterback.
if you cut them with the guaranteed money's already gone, they'd have half of that would still go against the cap.
Yeah, but it's cheaper.
It is cheaper, so instead of 29 million, it may be like 18 million or some shit like
Yeah.
that. So, but
But
obviously,
it's a way for them
if
to
they-
work the cap.
if they get a trading
because
partner-
the Rams sold their soul for the Super Bowl that they had, and they gave
Yes.
everything to everybody to fucking get that.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, Cooper Cup, they're seeking it actively. They say they're actively seeking a trade to let him go.
He
So-
came out and said it. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
and-
doing the same shit they did last year.
And he said he's had a great run there, and him and Stafford had such rapport, man. It'd
Oh,
really
Jesus Christ. Well, that 1 year proved
Oh
it.
yeah, obviously. Yeah, but Puka's come in and been a stud, out of nowhere.
but-
So
Puka can't get away.
no, yeah. If you have a
You
great
need
number
two
one,
guys like that.
absolutely. If you can't double
I bet
team
if
two
Cup
guys,
is willing to take a pay cut and they restructure that deal, he ain't going nowhere.
that's very possible. Yes, because he's not going to go find that rapport with anybody else in the league right out the
No.
gate with only
No.
a few good years left. So
Yeah, like Adam Thielen coming to the Panthers. Him and Young now have a pretty good.
yeah, but he's on the down slope of his career.
Exactly. But it took 2 years
Yeah,
because this is his second year there. But it takes time to work
Yeah,
with a
y-
quarterback.
yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is.
yeah. That shit doesn't happen overnight. It's a lot of work and a
Yeah.
lot of reps. So.
So much shit that they're doing. What are you doing Friday? You want to throw 300 or 400 passes?
Yeah. I know it's
Yeah.
off season. You want to meet me in California in
and
Malibu for
and
a
if I
week.
can't fucking meet you this weekend, I'll just go hit the jugs machine for
Mm-hmm.
fucking 2 or 3 hours.
900 fucking catches,
Yeah.
But so that's a little bit of NFL news. We are gonna take a quick little break.
Commercial
and then,
break coming up.
Come back with a little bit more.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a bit, folks.
There you go. See, we took our break and you didn't even miss us a little bit at all.
Nope. I
So-
didn't even miss us.
Normally, at this part in the show, we recap our picks from last week. We get our research department tell us how we did, and we didn't have nothing to pick last week, Dave.
Nothing to research.
Nothing to research.
Just a bye week.
Just a bye week. We did have the Pro Bowl games, the skills challenges. Did you
Some
watch some of that
those-
stuff?
Yeah, some of that was pretty fun.
Some of it was neat. The quarterback competition, the very first one they did was a good time.
I like that.
The trivia, then
Yeah.
they had to start throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's how many throws they got.
Well, that's how much time they got. The more trivia
Well,
questions. Yeah.
You answered. Yeah.
Jared Goff destroyed them. Joe Burrow was
Yeah.
first out the gate, hit that 5 at the end, like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, he was Captain Clutch right there
Yeah.
at the end.
So it was fun. It was interesting. And then they had the what else did they have? What was after the quarterbacks? Was that the receiver skills when they had to catch with
Yeah,
the
that was-
mascot gloves and stuff?
That was pretty lame
Yeah, and then
because most of the guys were pussies and wouldn't jump over the mat.
yeah, they didn't try real hard. They were just there having
Yeah.
a good time. And then we had the spike competition where they were
The spike competition was
It was
actually
kind of funny.
it was-
Terry
it
Crews
was
tried,
pretty funny.
missed the whole
Yeah.
fucking board. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
go ahead and just
I
flex.
enjoyed that.
Just flex your pecs, dude. That's all you do.
I also liked the what was the other one? The where they played like the
Oh, the trivia what looked like Family Feud or like old school
What's
80s.
that,
oh hell, what was it?
husband newlywed
Yes,
game.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
like the
yeah.
newlywed game.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
that was kind of funny. So,
But I watched it on mute, so I didn't get to hear what they
yeah,
were
so
talking
that was
about.
the extent of our football weekend, and then we had the flag football game on Sunday.
Didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch
I had
it
to
either. I
leave
missed
my
it.
house for the
I-
first
I-
time on a Sunday since fucking September.
Poor guy, he was very upset about it.
I was. 'cause
Yegi does
I
not.
know it's coming to an end.
Hey, you're lucky he puts pants on Sunday, and then there's leaving the house. I mean, that's a big step,
Yeah.
Amanda. You
So
take
now-
one. Take one for the guilt.
Chores, because I already know there's a fucking remodel coming up, so I know my
Football
whole weekend's
season's over.
wrapped up.
Football
and
season's over, so you're gonna have to start doing shit on Sundays.
We're just gonna argue about tile for
It's
no
ruined.
reason.
Argue about tile. So there was some fun highlight videos coming out during All Star Weekend. Peyton Manning's son Marshall dropping dimes to Jamar
Yep,
Chase.
Yep.
Little fella, the future of the NFL.
He
Watch
chucked
out,
it.
Arch. Yeah, he would drop.
He wasn't
dimes.
under pressure though.
No, he had no rush.
he
no
had
pass
no
rush.
Myles Garrett
Yeah,
coming
no
to
pass
fucking
rush.
cream his ass.
And I don't know if it's just because of the Super Bowl stuff, but there's been a lot of content on the internet the last week about Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's been doing podcasts, and he's on like a social media run.
Well, he's the GM of Stanford football.
Yes, but there's been a few interviews with him that I've seen that are pretty freaking funny and interesting.
My name was Andrew Luck.
He was-
and
he-
I like
he
to
was-
play football.
He was talking to one of the podcast guys on their show, and the clip I saw is like, when you were in there, what did you say to like Ty? And his response was, it was hilarious because Andrew Luck's kind of got that dry, not quite Peyton Manning. Andrew Luck's just kind of a dry, monotone guy, But he said, I told Ty, run, motherfucker, run. That's what he told him. Just fucking run, motherfucker. I'll throw it up. So-
It must have been a Houston game.
well, he owned Houston. Ty, Ghost. Ty, baby. He owned Houston. But I just thought it was cool. So, yeah, Andrew Luck's been all over the media here lately. Just because, I don't know, if just because Super Bowl week or whatnot.
No, it's because it's recruiting season for college.
True that. He is. There's a whole different standard
And
of things
Lane
you got to
Kiffin
do.
came out and said it's not recruiting anymore. It's the highest bidder. All
It
we're
is,
doing
yes,
is,
yeah. It's not about recruiting. Who can pay me the most?
Yeah.
Who has the most NIL money? That's
which is why the Alabama guy,
Nick Saban. That's why he walked away.
Nick Saban walked away,
Nick Saban was on the Pivot podcast, which is the one with Ryan Clark and
which makes sense that Belichick is doing what he's doing,
because he's an NFL guy. He's used
and
to
he
this
used
kind
to
of
be
work.
the GM.
Yeah, so he's used to this kind of work.
And I hope Prime stays in Colorado.
Well, the Dallas job's already filled, so he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that was never going to happen,
No.
so it doesn't matter either way. But eventually, somebody is going to coax him away from there,
Probably so.
and his ego might say, "We need to take Prime to another
Whether you
level."
like-
but I think he fits well with college. I
he
think
does.
he fits great.
Whether
And
you like
so
him or not.
if we got Belichick East Coast and him West, albeit
West,
Colorado,
yeah.
but it's West.
Yeah.
that could be because these guys understand NFL.
Yeah, it could
They
be very
understand
good for the college
contracts.
game.
They understand how to get people to come in here and make money. I think it'll be a good thing.
I do too. Whether you like Prime or not, as a person, I've watched a lot because when he got to Buffalo, to Colorado, the Buffs. He was just all over all of social media.
What was
all
that
of
Florida team he coached first?
Jackson State or Jacksonville State or
Yeah,
something like
whatever.
that. But whether you like
in
him or hate
college,
him,
you're not really a coach. You're just a E CEO.
yeah, well, it's getting to that now. But it wasn't a few years ago for this NIL stuff. But
Right.
Prime comes across as actually legitimately wanting to mold kids, which I think says a lot.
I think
So-
it's a good thing. I
yeah.
think it's a good thing.
and that's kind of where Nick Saban gave up. He's like, I
well,
used to
the money.
the money
Nick
changed
Saban's
recruiting.
used to handing money under the table
Well,
in an envelope.
When what was his name? Shane
Don't
Gillis?
touch me again like
Shane
that.
Gillis, the comedian, when he was on Game Day, he said, "Well, everybody else is just paying them now.
Yeah.
SEC always paid them, supposedly
Yeah.
under the table.
See,
But-
that's the joke.
yeah, that is the joke.
But I didn't laugh because I already knew the
Yeah,
punchline.
I got sidetracked. I had a thought I was going on, and
I'm sorry I threw you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I threw a boomerang.
So yeah, no picks to make this week. Well, we have picks to
Actually,
make.
there's
There's no recaps to make. But so let's just go with this segment with this week on Thursday is the NFL honors. That's when they
Well, yeah,
award
yeah.
all of the top guys in the sport for different categories. So I was going to go through these with you, Dave, and we can kind of pick our own. This could be our picks this week. Okay.
well, we have to make.
We still
a
have to pick a game. We're going to pick a game.
And did you get the parlay? Fucking
Man, you know what? We're going to take one more break before we make the picks. And I'm going to give you the bona fide bets are going to be. You're going to get a big old.
earful.
I'm going to go with. It's going to be a lot of prop bets, like what
Yeah.
color's the Gatorade, how long's the
Those-
national anthem
those
going
are
to take,
fun.
shit like that. So
Those are more fun than the points bets.
yeah. Because I had a little rough run at the end there. So AP most valuable player. These are who are up for the award: Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley. Yes, Josh Allen. Go ahead, give me my theme music. Yep. So, AP, most valuable player, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson.
Joe Burrow's on that list.
Yeah, he's on the list. He's one of the five
Well,
that they
fucking
have up.
A.
Yeah.
At
Commend
least
him.
they recognized him.
Well, yeah, he had a hell of a season. If they have a winning
Oh,
season,
yeah.
he's MVP all year. If they go to the playoffs, he's probably the MVP.
Yeah, I was listening to Dan Patrick show. I love them. I always throw them props. And they had Brady Quinn on there today, and he said basically what Joe Burrow did this year is
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
Amazing
But
season.
the fact they didn't make the playoffs,
And a losing
he's
season.
immediately
Yeah,
off the list.
exactly.
But you
But,
brought out the
yeah,
list.
That's the
and
five,
he's on there.
5 players that are nominated.
Joe
if you
Burrow
will.
played better than all of them.
I agree, and the numbers show. But the overall team, the most valuable player for your team that got you where you need to be,
Yeah, I understand that.
it's.
but
I think it's
but
Josh
Burrow
Allen.
carried the fucking
100%,
team.
100%.
Yep.
So I'm going with Josh Allen for the MVP. What
And
about you?
Hawkinson.
Oh yeah.
But for MVP,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with
The MVP.
our guy.
Josh
That we've
Allen.
been saying all year. Is Josh motherfucking Allen.
Yeah.
And if Joe Burrow wins, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it be crazy? I mean, golf's on that list
It
too.
would be awesome.
Sa-
Golf played great until Washington ruined
Yeah,
everything.
I mean Saquon. Obviously, you want to talk about a freaking off-season acquisition. I
Yeah.
mean, Saquon put work in. What a dominant
Okay,
season.
here we go. MVP is normally a regular season trophy,
Yes.
but I've heard conversation that why don't we give it away at the end of the season? So if Saquon and the Eagles
Carries
win the
his team
Super
to
Bowl
the Super Bowl and wins.
and wins,
It's
then
because
Saquon Barkley
because
because
of
they literally changed their offense.
yes, and rode him all year long.
Yeah, but they've got Devontae Smith and
Yep.
AJ Brown
Yep.
and Dallas Goddard.
Yeah,
So they have
Weapons,
weapons.
yeah.
All over the place.
but they had all those weapons last year, and you take a guy like this takes
Exactly,
you to the promised
exactly.
land.
This
That's your
guy
most
was
valuable
the-
player.
This guy was a different.
I agree. But it's obviously it's a regular season award that
It
they
is
give
a
it.
regular
So
season
all the
award.
votes have to be in before the first
I
round of
bet.
the playoffs.
I bet if he broke the record,
he'd have gotten the MVP.
I mean, he'd be right up the
Yeah.
fucking.
so next up
He'd be
we
right
have
the fuck up there.
the defensive player of the year. Here are your nominees: Zach Bond, linebacker for the Eagles;
Okay. Yeah.
Miles Garrett, who we obviously talked about earlier,
Yeah.
who wants out; Trey Hendrickson,
Yes.
the defensive end for the Bengals;
Led the league in sacks.
Patrick Surtain, cornerback for the Broncos;
Oh,
and,
nice.
and T.J. Watt for the Steelers.
T.J. Watt didn't do shit for 192 snaps
Yes,
at the end of the season.
yes, the back half season. So he's on the list, but he doesn't. I don't.
He's
think
on there for name recognition.
So, does it go to Zach Bond or Miles Garrett? Do you have a
I'd
thought
say
on this?
Hawkinson.
Hendrickson.
Oh, is it
yeah, Hendrickson, the defensive end for.
There was 3 defensive guys that
Yeah.
had the same H name.
Yeah.
Adrian Hutchinson, Hawkinson, and then whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
with
trying
you
to
there.
talk.
So yeah, I like Trey Hendrickson there, the defensive end for
I
Cincinnati. 'cause
would
he was
give
the
it to
only
him.
fucking player on that team that
He was the
defensive
only
showed up.
piece of defense
Yeah.
on that team.
Next up, we have now. This is where this award a lot of time goes to the guy who deserves it in the MVP voting, but the offensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year, we have Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson.
But I'd give it to all of them.
Well, agree, but this is the award Saquon gets, offensive player of the year.
You think so?
Yeah, he almost broke the damn rushing
I'm
record.
cool with that.
Yeah, so
And I'm also cool with Joe Burrow.
Jamar Chase got the triple crown.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, Burrow throw out of
All of them
they
are
all deserve
worthy.
It. They all.
Whoever wins that, I ain't mad.
Yeah,
I ain't
but
mad.
but because Saquon's not winning the MVP because it's going to Josh motherfucking Allen.
Yeah.
I think he gets the offensive player of the year.
Josh motherfucking Allen.
So, offensive rookie of the year. Offensive. We already know this is going.
Jaden Daniels.
Brock Bowers had a
Great year.
best rookie season. He took beat out Mike Ditka.
Quietly,
Yeah.
as a fucking Raider.
Yeah, as a Raider
And they fucking
with 10
sucked.
different quarterbacks.
They sucked all year long.
Broke rookie tight end records that Mike Ditka held.
We got
So,
Ditka.
Ditka. So Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas Jr. All worthy recipients.
Oh, Bo Nix is up for that.
Yeah, but
I'd give him props
Malik
for
Neighbors
that,
and
yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr., both receivers, both over 1,000 yards in their rookie seasons.
Yeah.
Great years.
That's-
Bo
that's-
Nix balled out. Him and Sean Payton, they got a thing going. Watch out for Denver coming.
It's
coming
got to be
for a
Jaden
few years.
Daniels just
Oh,
because of the
100%.
fucking
It
NFC
took him-
Championship
it took him-
game.
exactly,
But
100%.
then again, regular season.
But what he did in the regular season was just astronomical too. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's really much of a question there.
I would say Jaden Daniels wins that.
Yeah.
one.
All right. Now I've only got. Oh shit! So my papers got stuck together. See, I almost missed a whole category.
Lick your finger
Yep.
first.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. We've got Cooper DeJean for Philadelphia, Brandon Fisk for the Rams, defensive end. Quinion Mitchell, Eagles cornerback. Chop Robinson, Miami Dolphins linebacker, and
His
Jared
name
Verse,
is Chop.
Chop.
Huh.
And Jared Verse, the Rams
Verse.
linebacker.
I'd give it to Verse.
Verse or DeJean? DeJean had a pretty big season. So, but yeah, I think Jared Verse gets this one. Now, look.
It's always defensive, unless they just blow the fuck up. It's hard.
My printer fucked me on this last one here, Yegi. Actually,
I would go with Verse because he had a longer season, but it's a regular season award.
I have, see, my printer cut me off, and it didn't put on this next page. I got 3 more categories, but I don't have all the recipients for one of them.
Oh.
The comeback player of the year, J.K. Dobbins, running back for the Rams. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback for the Patriots. DeMar Hamlin, safety for Buffalo. But I think Sam Darnold was on that list also.
Sam Darnold wins it.
Yeah, I think he was on that list.
And a
it just
close
didn't print.
second would be Hamlin.
Yeah.
Because Hamlin had a couple interceptions, made some big plays.
He almost died. He died on the field.
He did die.
Yeah.
It wasn't no almost.
Yeah.
T. Higgins fucking
Yeah,
killed that
but
man.
I know Sam Darnold was there, and there was one other guy. But again, my
But
printer.
Hamlin
Pretty
made some
screwed me.
big plays, and but yeah, Sam Darnold all year long.
Yeah, gets
all
that
day.
one.
He's in the Pro Bowl. He was in
Yeah.
the Pro Bowl.
I got 2 left for you here from the MVP, and there's probably more. There's like play of the game and play of the week, which we all know is going to Saquon's reverse hurdle, you know. But I didn't get those. I just got printed off the big ones. Coach of the year, we have Dan Big Balls Campbell,
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell for the Vikings, Sean Payton for the Broncos, Dan Quinn for the Commanders, and Andy Reid for the Chiefs. Coach of the year, who you got?
Well, first off, fuck off with the Andy Reid thing
Yeah.
because they're defending Super Bowl champs. He should never be in this conversation.
Well, they're not defending Super Bowl champs and back again if he's not a great coach.
I understand that, but come on.
Come on.
You didn't.
You didn't do anything different.
Year
You're just doing the same
uppercut-
thing you did last
Yeah,
3
I mean,
years.
all you're doing is
Recycling. Rinse, repeat. Rinse and repeat.
It's like the back of a shampoo bottle. Either way, not taken away from Andy Reid by any fucking means whatsoever. But Coach of the Year should go to other teams that stepped up their game
From
in my
nothing
opinion,
to what it is.
because Andy Reid's game was already
there. He didn't move them.
and that's the one you want to match.
That's right. He didn't move the needle with what Kansas City does.
No,
he
because
did what they do.
his game was there,
Yep.
and everybody wants to be you.
Yeah.
So we get it. You're badass, and he's been badass.
To
for-
be the best, you got to beat the best, and nobody's beat him.
I think I'm a big Lions fan. Lions stepped up.
I do too, but I don't think it's Dan Campbell either.
I don't either, but listen to
I think
me.
we're going to the same place.
I think Dan Campbell stepped it up and improved his team even more, and they
Yep.
got
With
closer and
all the
closer.
adversity they had to deal
But
with
I
throughout
think
the
it's
course of the
Dan
season.
Quinn.
I was with you, Dan Quinn.
What
New
Washington
owner,
did this year.
New owner, new coach, rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Goes to the NFC Championship
What
game.
Washington did this year is they set a culture.
Above and beyond.
Yeah.
That team is going to be strong for years to come because of what they did this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, Dan Quinn is.
In my opinion, it's Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I agree. Now we've got the assistant coach of the year, which I'm not real sure how I'm going
What
to do with
the
this one.
fuck?
Yeah, this is on my list of just the top honors. Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Vic Fangio, the DC for the Eagles. Brian Flores, the DC for the Vikings. Aaron Glenn, the DC for the Lions. And Ben Johnson, the OC for the Lions. Assistant coach of the year.
Ben
Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Okay. Offensive genius.
Yeah.
I would give it up to the Eagles defensive coordinator
Vic Fangio. They've been
because they have consistently been the number one defense all year long.
They have been freaking tough. I mean,
Yeah,
no doubt about
their
it.
front four is not to be fucked with.
Yeah, they are badass. They
And
I mean,
hopefully,
obviously, they've
I
got.
mean,
a
I
couple-
don't want either one of these teams to win in the Super Bowl.
Well, it's just not
because-
Super Bowl one to see.
I understand, but they're both in here, and his defense was number one consistently all year long.
I agree.
I
with
just
that.
don't want Eagles fans to win because they're. I don't care if you're listening to me and you're an Eagles fan or whatever. Your
They're
fan base
a
is
bunch of rude, obnoxious
inbred,
assholes.
dickless morons.
They throw
That's all
snowballs
there
at
is to it.
Santa Claus, man.
Yeah, and they
Who
throw-
throws snowballs at Santa Claus.
They throw batteries at armless black children.
Rude
they're racist.
bastards. Rude
No,
bastards.
But yeah, but I would say it's the Eagles guy.
I see, and I'm going with Ben Johnson just because the trick plays, the shit he did
Ben
with that
Johnson,
offense this year.
what he did with the
Yeah,
Lions
amazing.
offense is amazing.
Now we're going to see what he does with Caleb Williams. So
Yeah, I mean,
could be
it's
interesting.
so funny that they all left to stay in the division, except for the old boy that went to the
Yeah,
Jets.
Aaron Glenn, head coach, but
But
linebackers, coaches,
Brian
and all that.
Johnson's pulling everybody to him.
Oh yeah, grabbing Dan's guys. Like
Yeah.
Dan's probably going, dude, come on, I thought we had a good thing here. Why are you going to do me like
I
that?
thought we were friends.
Why are you going to do me
man.
like that, bud? Shit. All right, so that's segment 2 for us. We've only got
I bet Dan Campbell's going to win in a fight, though.
Oh, I guarantee. I ain't putting nobody against his big ol' ass. So the only thing we got left to really talk about is the Super Bowl. You want to do that now or you want to take a break?
Up to you, brother.
I say we will be back after this short message.
All right, commercial break.
All right, we're still here. We've got, we didn't get a shitty quarterback or best quarterback of the week this week because we didn't have a game.
No,
I know
we did
everybody
not.
loves that segment. Yegi's kicked its ass all year long. So I want to commend you on that, Dave. It was a
well.
great segment. A lot of people that enjoyed it. So, hey, congrats.
It came together really well.
You gave us a hell of a segment for 18 weeks of NFL football, but 20, I guess, if you at the playoffs, which were shittiest quarterback and best.
Playoffs?
Damn it,
Don't
Jim's
talk
here
about
again.
Playoffs?
All you gotta do
You
is say
kidding
the
me?
word and he gets all excited, man. So,
Give the guy a boner.
but so it was a great segment. I greatly appreciate it. I know the fans that we do have really enjoyed it. So, kick ass on the shitty quarterback of the week, Dave.
Hey, thanks, man. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
No worries there, mate.
We're wrapping up our year 2. The NFL's wrapping up. That was our bread and butter for the season. We're still going to
I
keep
love the NFL.
We're still
I
going to
love it.
keep doing the podcast. It may be a little bit more sparse for the next couple months,
Yeah.
but we have the draft and we have free agency and things to talk about.
We got to
And-
talk about the draft. At
and-
least I'm in for the first round.
Oh
That's-
yeah,
that's
and
all I
obviously
know.
March Madness, my favorite time of the year. So we're gonna have to talk
Build
some
your
basketball.
brackets.
You're gonna have to watch some basketball and talk about it with me, or I guess Daniel can come in here and talk basketball with me.
About Kansas.
Kansas, K State, you name it. The Chiefs, his favorite team's playing this weekend. So yeah, that's kind of where we stand. But we've got one game to pick, Dave. There's one game left in the NFL season.
All right, give me your whole analysis of
It's
the
for
Super
all
Bowl.
the marbles, baby. The champion. So the Chiefs are going for a three-peat. The Eagles
Yep.
have done this, 2 years ago with this team?
Yep, same matchup. Yeah, it's 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the Chiefs got the better of them that time.
Really close, though.
Really close.
Jalen Hurts should have been the MVP.
Of that Super Bowl that they
Yes.
lost, had a hell of
Go
a game.
back and watch it.
Yeah. But they have,
Jalen Hurts was the best player on the fucking field. They just didn't fucking win.
you're right. So are we thinking a three-peat's going to happen, or is Philly going to pull this game out? What is your take on the game? What do you think are what's the keys to the game for each team? What's it going to take for the Chiefs or the Eagles to win?
Okay.
You've watched football all year. Give me
Yeah.
give me your take there, Mr. Dave Yankee.
The Chiefs have had the number one run defense 90% of the year, and they're going against the number one rusher of the year. So that's a keys to the game kind of thing.
Key to the game. Yeah.
But consistently all year, the Eagles have been the number one defense.
Yes.
So I think it really comes down to that. And if you see Mahomes limp off the side of the field, he's playing you, bro.
He's done it. How many times have you seen him do that?
Yeah,
The
a
ankle?
lot.
The ankle a couple years ago?
This Super Bowl
Yeah.
2 years ago against the Eagles, he limped off the field. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then he
Came back
see,
in, ran for 15 yards on
he's
first down
fucking
on
with
fourth
you.
and
He's
12.
fucking with you. So
Yeah.
don't let your mind get fucked by his bullshit games. But I think
You got to
Fuck,
pick.
man.
You got to pick the game.
the Eagles really have a good chance to fucking do it this year.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like you said, the Kansas City's had a really good run defense.
Yes. Chris
pass-
Jones.
Yeah, he's a bad
If
dude.
he can't get the sack, he's stopping
Yes.
something.
They may be a little suspect on the back end.
Very.
But
they are. You can throw on them.
Philly has weapons on the outside, which I think gives them a little bit of an edge.
Devontae
because
Smith, A.J. Brown.
and yes,
AJ
Dallas Goddard.
A.J. Brown.
Yeah, that's his name. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, you were right. You were there.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he has time to read a book.
Yeah. Well, he does because they didn't need him because Saquon was run all over the place. So I think it comes down to if Kansas City stacks the box and just to stop Saquon, Philadelphia has enough talent on the outside to
They do.
make them pay.
They really do.
If you look at it on the other side if you look at that from the same aspect for Kansas City runs the ball, not great. Kareem Hunt's had a little bit of a resurgence there in Kansas City.
Yeah, he has.
Pacheco's,
Showed back up.
Yes.
But he was hurt.
he was.
He was hurt.
And while he was hurt, they brought Hunt in, and you didn't see him the last few weeks of the season or the playoffs use one of them as a feature back, if you will.
Yeah.
So they haven't really got the run game going. As far as receivers go for Kansas City, Travis Kelce is
Yeah.
he does what he does
We
in the
said
big
this
games.
in episode 1 or 2, maybe 3.
Yeah,
Why the fuck is Travis always open?
exactly. I mean, it makes no sense.
That's one of the dudes
Yeah.
you need to fucking key on.
Yeah, you need your best, probably not your linebacker because he beat a linebacker. So you need a safety coming up on him all the time, nonstop.
Somebody.
They do have obviously a lot of speed at receiver, but not
DeAndre
great.
Hopkins.
Well, Hopkins is a great possession receiver
Yeah.
at this time in his career.
You know how much fun he's having at this time?
Well,
in his
hell yeah, he's
career?
never been here.
He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is cool.
Xavier Worthy's the speed guy, but what in the Buffalo Bills game with Kansas City, what won Kansas City that game was Patrick Mahomes' legs running the freaking ball.
Yeah.
Which you think going into that game, the AFC Championship game, you're worried about Josh Allen running the ball, not freaking Patrick Mahomes running the ball.
Yeah.
So
Mahomes will rip off like a 40-yarder, and then another one in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go.
If
a 10 or 15-yarder, just enough for the first down.
If it's 4th and 8, Mahomes will get 8.5 yards running the ball. If it's 4th and 15, he will get 16 yards running the ball.
Just like Tom Brady, don't give this dude
No time.
ball
Yes.
in scoring position with
So-
2 minutes left.
I feel like, just based off of what I've watched all year on the two teams, that the Eagles are the better team.
They are.
But
Magic's going to happen, bro.
I was going to say, they can be the better team, the better players, the better scheme, but Mahomes is a magic man, and Andy Reid is a fucking genius.
Yeah, I'm
So,
changing it all.
this
it's,
is
it's Chiefs for the three-peat.
It's a very tough
Let's
game
see
to
some
call.
history.
As much as this is not the game that anybody wanted to see, nobody wanted to see Philly and Kansas City again in the Super Bowl, and we're all going to watch it because we're NFL fans, and we're going to, yell and scream at the TV on every first down and every penalty and every, that was a holding call.
The last Sunday, I don't have to do shit
Yeah.
until next
The following
September.
Sunday, you're going to be busy as shit, though.
I know.
I'm going to pick the Eagles.
I was with the Eagles, but you talked me into the fucking Chiefs.
of Magic Man Mahomes.
Yeah, because it's going to happen. I'm not going to say
Hey.
refs or shit like that.
If-
There's going to be one magical fucking play in this game.
I'll guarantee you he'll make one on a 4th down, going for it, or a 3rd and long. Mahomes is going to make some plays that you're going to go, how the fuck did he do that?
yeah, and
That's
then
all he does.
Let's watch that in a replay.
So as much as I hate them because of the dynasty, when you're that good, if you're not a Kansas City fan, you don't like Kansas City. But I respect them. I respect what they've done. I respect what they do. And Mahomes,
you have
like
no
him or
choice
hate him,
but to.
like him or hate him, if you're a football fan, you have to respect what the guy does. He's fucking phenomenal.
He's already got 3 Super Bowls.
Well, yeah. But the plays he makes is just unreal. The dude can jump like Superman and throw it 30 yards.
It's those
off his
goddamn
feet.
baseball kids, man.
The baseball kids are the shit. They got it down, man.
They can throw that ball from any angle.
Yeah. So, I like Philly to win the game, but if you're up 4 points, Philly, and you give Kansas City 40 seconds, you're going to lose the game.
Yeah, probably.
That's what Tom Brady did forever. You always, when Tom Brady played, he's like
28-3.
If you leave him freaking time, you are screwed.
28-3.
Yeah. Fucking Falcons, Matt Ryan. Goddamn, poor bastards. So I'm going to take Philly on this one. Eagles. No 3-peat for the Chiefs.
I originally took Philly, but I'm going to flip with you. I'm going to play the opposite. Let's do it.
Okay.
Good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cop. I'm on the Eagles.
taking
You're
the
on the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'm
Hey,
taking the Chiefs.
Brad, this research is going to be tough. I'm going to need you to put a
Yeah.
lot of work in on Monday
You might have to listen to the show at least
to see
5
what
or
our
6
picks are,
times.
write it down, see what happens. I was joking around with Yegi about bets.
That's me.
Because I have no bona fide bets, and I was going to write down a bunch of props for the hell of it, but we started just shooting the shit and having a good old time, and it went by the wayside. So no bets for you this week other than Eagles money line. Take that.
Well, yeah.
Gatorade color. I don't even know what their options are. Red,
No,
blue,
I'm just saying you
orange.
have to pick one game. What's the
I don't.
line? Do you know?
I think last I looked was Philly plus 1.5, so they're getting a 1.5. They're underdogs by 1.5. So, okay, lock money, all of it. Every bona fide bet I got left
Yeah,
is Philadelphia plus
that's
1.5.
your wimpy bona
So-
fide bet with Josh.
Yeah, see, it's not that fun when there's one game and it's a Super Bowl. I'm excited about the commercials, which are always fun. Do you know who's singing the national anthem?
No.
I know the halftime show is Kendrick Lamar. I know that much.
Sure.
But I don't know much else. I know Matthew McConaughey did a preview for
Yeah.
the Uber Eats commercial, which
The
is going to be
Bears.
fun. The Bears. He had his Ditka gear on going at it. So if anybody wants to sponsor the Wrong Call Sportscast for an ad in the Super Bowl, we will take it.
Yeah.
So
I need $30 million.
for a 30-second spot, hell, we can probably do it in half that. So give us 15 million. We'll only do 15
Teddy's
seconds.
got Venmo. Hit him up.
Yeah. Send it my way, Josh Tidwell at AOL.com. So, yeah, send us the money. We'll throw an ad on there for everybody. Super Bowl this week. Next week, we have little brother Jake coming in. He wants to talk about the Super Bowl, what happened. He wants to talk about racing because he's a racing fan.
Yep. He wants to put rubber to the ground.
We're going to have some guests in because after next week, we're gonna bounce back probably every 2-3 weeks for the show for you guys.
Right. NFL's over. We don't need week to week.
Eric's still going to come in. I tried to get Eric coming in today, but he was predisposed. He had
he was speed dating.
He was speed dating. Yeah,
and pretty excited.
yeah.
about it.
Our buddy Eric. Eric, if you're listening, I'm sorry, we're busting your balls a little bit. We asked him about the Donatich and Anthony Davis trade. He's like, he gave us a little breakdown. I'm like, you know what? Without NFL, we don't have a lot to talk about. Eric, you want to come in and do the show with us tonight? He's like, man, I would love to, but I'm speed dating tonight.
Right.
So, Eric, I hope it works out well. We're really looking forward to the results and how it went.
Good luck, buddy.
He is in Greenfield. I hope all the girls have all their teeth.
Just
Just saying, they in the country. Horse lovers and stuff like that. So, Eric, let us know how speed dating goes. We'll get you in here because you're an NBA guy. Little bro's coming in next week. Talk about a little NASCAR, Daytona 500.
the
Room and the results of the Super Bowl, and if there's any bad calls that pisses everybody else off, we will discuss those next week.
I have a segment prepared, but we're gonna have to see how that game goes.
You got to see how it goes first. Other than that, Yegi and I have moved the recording of the podcast into a little bit of music. That's what Yegi bought all this stuff that we're doing
Yeah.
for. So I think we've told you guys this a few times. When we started the podcast, Yegi bought all this software and stuff to record because we're musicians for music.
We'll call it that.
And we got drunk on Labor Day weekend on Sunday night. I said, I've always wanted to do sports, radio, TV, anything. My dream job would have been on the mothership doing sports. And Yegi said, I got all that stuff. We can do it all. I'm like, well, let's do a freaking podcast then. So
Yeah.
on drunk Sunday night, I said, let's do a podcast. On Wednesday, we record the first episode of the Wrong Call Sportscast. So it's built for music. We did some music. Our buddy Rusty came in Saturday, laid down 4
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was actually pretty awesome.
Way cool. So with the little bit of extra time we have between episodes, I promise I've been promising the video for like 6 weeks now. But
We're gonna get it.
we're gonna get the video. We're gonna get. I had a great commercial written for you guys, but we need a little extra sound effects we're working on. So it'll be
It
coming.
needs to be more immersive.
Yeah, that's right. So, as always, we are the Wrong Call Sportscast. We are here weekly for now.
We're here.
Yeah. So, listen, all the socials, hit us up, follow, like, comment, get involved with us. We can have some banter back and forth. It's always a good time. So, Dave Yegi, buddy, it's been a great year calling football. We got one game left to do.
Yeah, the season's not over yet.
Not over. We got one more. But, Dave, you kicked ass, buddy.
Hey, you kicked bigger ass. And thanks for making the right call and listening to the wrong call.
That's right.
We love y'all.